Herman and Katnip? More like a swipe and son of a bitch. Oh my god, this show sucks. Let me tell you the reasons why I hate this show in my opinion. It's a blatant ripoff of Tom and Jerry, and also an indirect ripoff of the Sylvester and Tweety, Speedy Gonzales shorts of Looney Tunes. This is to the point that it is unoriginal and not even a decent ripoff of said show. The characters' personalities are extremely bland and somewhat irredeemable. Herman the Mouse is a completely unlikable and sadistic freak who always gives the dim-witted Katnip no mercy. At the end of almost every short, he generally would have Katnip suffer a demise where he either gets eaten by sharks, gets hit by a train, or gets the worst out of anything. If you rip off Jerry or Speedy Gonzales and take away all of his redeeming or likable qualities, even more so than the Gene Deitcher Mexican cat dance version, you are left with Herman in a nutshell. Katnip the cat is just generic and he feels like more or less of a dumber and slow-witted version of Sylvester from Looney Tunes, which is an unintentionally hilarious failed attempt at even ripping off Tom and his personality. Bertha, aka Chickenpea, is an extremely unlikable character, as she always abuses her timid husband Henry in extremely violent ways that cross over into spousal abuse territory. For example, in Sudden Fried Chicken, 1946, she beats up Henry so badly that he gets hospitalized. The characters' character designs are absolutely uninspired, lazy and unimaginative. Examples of this include the titular characters themselves, along with Herman's cousins looking the same to the point that it is very hard to tell apart which one is Zeke, Louie, and Hector. Just look at their designs. It's extremely mean-spirited and hurtful, enough to make Tom and Jerry, even the Gene Deitch era, look tame by comparison. Most of the shorts are pretty much the same, only with some minor differences each time, making them predictable and formulaic. Katnip is terrorizing the mice while Herman is away. Fade to Herman, who's on his way home and singing, tone-deafly, to himself. When Herman arrives, he's greeted with a gloom and doom report by the spokesmen of the other mice, who are all completely demoralized and at wit's end on what to do about Katnip. Herman becomes enraged and vows to destroy Katnip. Herman effortlessly destroys Katnip, usually killing him, and all the mice celebrate. The setups are very bland and dull and often have been overdone by 1940s and 1950s standards. The physical humor is extremely obnoxious, gruesome, ugly, clumsy, awkward, and disturbing due to the brutality and amount of crass it contains or by how pointless it was. Katnip getting his head chopped off by Herman with long scissors in a non-bloody way and Buzzy smashing through Katnip's eye with a hammer after getting eaten alive. It's very reminiscent of an incoherent snuff film, where it's literally the anthropomorphic category of animal abuse. The characters' voices are either uncomfortable, awkward, and very cringeworthy, like Katnip's yelling, literally, or his dialogue, such as his catchphrase that sounds logical in all Buzzy shorts, and the annoyingly stupid dialect in his voice, or are just plain weird like Herman sounding like an oddball prototype of Super Mario in Hotel Mario due to his Brooklyn accent being present. Many of the shorts end with Katnip being brutally killed and the mice playing around with his dead body. For example, they used Katnip's corpse as a Christmas tree in Mice Meeting You, 1950. It is very one-sided and one-dimensional, similar to the Gene Deitch era of Tom and Jerry, as Herman always wins over Katnip at the end of every short, but instead with sloppy and creepy slapstick. Some of the shorts rip off Tom and Jerry shorts. A Bicep Built for Two, 1955, rips off both Springtime for Thomas, 1946, and Casanova Cat, 1951. Felinius Assault, 1959, rips off Professor Tom, 1948. Mice, Copades, 1952, rips off Heavenly Puss, 1949. Katnip's Big Day, 1959, the final Herman and Katnip short, rips off Life with Tom, 1953. The soundtrack is either obnoxious, irritating, forgettable, or lousy. Some animation errors or poorly directed animation can be found at times. Due to budget limitations with all of the Harv tunes, the shorts from mid-1957 onwards degraded in animation, quality and looks very similar to Up and Hanna-Barbera television animation at that point. The mice didn't get hurt by Katnip, but seemed to get injured during the next scene, making them seem like whiny brats. Buzzy the Crow can be considered offensive due to being a Rochester caricature who torments Katnip to no end as well. As a result, his shorts with Katnip have been banned from syndication, and the Harvtoons show had to redub Buzzy's voice for all of their shorts. Likewise, the pairing is also considered a Sylvester and Tweety ripoff as well. These cartoons started the decline of Famous Studios, as by that time Famous Studios started moving away from the artistic ambition and sophistication its predecessor Fleischer Studios strove for in favor of churning out cartoon series that are mostly formulaic, brutally violent and largely oriented toward a children's audience. And that's how the show is. Oh, and not to mention that Paramount Pictures, what the hell is wrong with you? You should be ashamed of yourself for making this abomination. Anyways, thank God this show got cancelled in October 30th, 1959. I don't know who likes this show, so I'm just going to leave it be. Who hates this show? Jesus, the Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes guy. He's the one who requested me this rant. And screw the adventures of Paddy the Pelican. Casper the Friendly Ghost is 269,000 times better than Herman and Katnip. End of rant. This featured rant has been requested by Jesus the Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes guy. The next rant will be requested by Mr. Thomas Animator Gaming. And it will be on Emmanuel Thomas.